Dallas with the basketballs. We begin the fourth quarter. And this one, Jay, not totally in the win column yet, but with a double-digit lead, you have to like their chances.
I love when I start seeing fans exit the arena so early in this game, and I hear people say, this one should be in the bag. Well, guess what? It's never a guarantee. You have to be careful not to slow down the pace of the game and take the air out of the basketball. You have to put your foot on the gas and try to win this game with a sense of urgency.
Houston takes over. To Harden. Surveys the floor. Baseline drive. Yes! And a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
So many times we get on the defender for quote-unquote letting the offensive player score on an and one. Sometimes there's a lucky bounce, but more often than not, it's the offensive player who makes the play happen despite the defender's best intentions.
Brandon Knight at the line for a chance at a three-point play. A career 70% free throw shooter. Free throw up and good, and the lead's back down to 13. Here's Barea, looking to make something happen. Here comes the screen. Deep two there, won't go.
I love when I see a good contest. You're crowding the player's landing space, which naturally makes him worrisome about turning an ankle on that landing.
To Harden. Fires the three, buries it on the catch and shoot.
Consistency wins a game. Sometimes you have to double down. I'm sure that's what their coach told them to do in the locker room. Keep shooting your shot.
Brunson to Matthews. Big stuff and a lot of traffic on the way to the rim.
There you go. I like seeing scoring coming from unlikely sources.
Rockets in control of the basketball. Harden. Probing the defense. Knocks it down from mid-range.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
Barea matched up with Knight. To Brunson. Nothing going here on that drive. Brunson. Dallas with 4 to shoot. Great defense there, forcing the pickup. Short jumper, won't fall.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
Now a whistle. Dallas will use the timeout as they'll talk things over here in this fourth quarter.
And this is where habits come into play. Players think they can turn that switch on and off at their beckoning call, but it doesn't work that way. That's why coaches talk about practicing good habits on a daily basis, because they show up in the fourth.
We have both squads set to make some moves right now. Doncic to Nowitzki. Shot from the lane won't go. Knight into the front court. His club staring up at an 8-point deficit. And they call the foul. Careful there, Jay.
His timing was a tad bit off.
Carter Williams. Lets it fly from long range. Too easy. Defense has to communicate.
It just seems like everybody's getting more touches. I'm not saying who, but it seemed like the ball stopped in a certain player's hands, which forced the defense to become stagnant.
Gordon with it. The margin standing now at 7. Trying to cash in. Shot won't go. Nowitzki. A bad pass as the Rockets come away with it.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in the playoff game, it will.
Swings it. To Carter Williams. short jumper won't go down.
I just love where this takes you into the psychological battle as a player offensively. Was that a great contest, or did you just miss the shot? But now you have me thinking about that the entire next possession.
To Carter Williams. Can't miss those. To Luka Doncic. Here comes the screen. Doncic. Nowitzki. Can't get the bounce. To Carter Williams. Doesn't have the touch. No good.
We call some of these players practice players. You know, the guys that make 5 out of 10 shots in practice, but then all of a sudden they're not gamers because then they're making 1 of 10. That's exactly what you want him to do. You want him to take those kind of shots.
Doncic showing why the Mavs traded up to get him.
Man, you making people dance out there? I see you with the footwork.
Now the Rockets will use a timeout as they'll make sure they're all on the same page here in the fourth quarter.
And this is where I get a chance to see if coaches can change it up. Maybe let one of your players lead the timeout so your team can hear a different voice to keep everybody engaged. Maybe like the Warriors did with Andre Iguodala.
The follow won't go either. Grabs his own miss and scores. Good concentration.
Attack mode isn't a switch that you can just turn on and off. He needs to do more of that. We need to see him penetrate, get into that lane, and create.
Barea matched up with Carter Williams. To Luka Doncic. Whistle sounds. We have a tie-up. Jump ball. The opposing coach is going to counter, make some changes of his own. To Paul. And the basket good at the rim.
I don't know if the scouting report has made its way out here yet, but if anything, it says you need to not let him get that close to the rim.
Nothing going here on that drive. Brunson to Luka Doncic. Off the assist.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. Harden to Paul. Add 2 points to the board.
Look, the Rockets don't take too many mid-range jumpers. Actually, last season, they led the league in three-point attempts. Glad to see them actually find a two-point shot relevant these days.
To Jordan. DeAndre Jordan, look out. Jay, I'm surprised. He had a chance to wrap him up.
Well, you're not the only one surprised. This guy is not a good free throw shooter. You never let him have an easy bucket. If anything, make him earn it at the charity stripe.
Here's Paul. Brings it up the floor. To P.J. Tucker. Off the mark on his free throw. Both teams tweaking their lineups. Here come some changes.
Subbing in for the Mavericks, number 1, Dennis Smith.
Shot clock to 4 for Houston. Down low, Capella to Paul. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. And Chris Paul, he's been doing that for years. Wide open look, and he buries it.
Oh, I like what you're doing right now. It looks like you're running some DHOs into PNRs. That's dribble handoffs into pick and rolls. You keep running that action, you're constantly going to keep the defense guessing.
It's Rockets ball.
I got him. I got ball. I got ball.
Harden to Paul. Oh, denied.
As my old teammate RJ would say, stay down, clown.
To Luka Doncic. Here comes the screen. Ball's loose. Look at him on the deck. Harden with it up top. They trail by 7. To Paul. Fires the three. Had made his first three, but that shot off the mark. And the front court comes Smith. He'll run the offense. Harden in possession. Right now, down 7. And the Mavs able to clear the rebound. There's the whistle and an intentional foul. Just their first in the final 2 minutes, so no free throws yet. They'll take the ball out of bounds.
Smart play. You have fouls to use. Good way to manage the clock without burning a timeout.
Can't connect. He has certainly been on target from downtown. He's 4 of 5 from three-point range.
Let me tell you why. He's been receiving his passes on time and on target. Give the passer some credit in this scenario as well.
The victory to the Mavericks as they win this one by 4. For Jay Williams and all our crew, I'm Ed Cohen saying so long for now. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
With the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Mavericks finished with a narrow victory on the scoreboard. I could get into detail about their play calling and shot selection, but let's be honest. We all know that the dunks were the most exciting. I'd be surprised if the rim isn't a little bit bent at this point. The Rockets are probably frustrated with themselves after such a narrow loss. This loss is sure to be all the more bitter because of how well they shot from beyond the arc. Their percentage from three-point range was outstanding. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Houston Rockets.
Game track. Field goals.
Neither of these teams were able to make much of an impact on defense. As you can see here, they were each pretty successful with some efficient scoring.
Player of the game.
DeAndre Jordan could not have been more impressive in this game. The way he scored the basketball looked like he was playing with kids in high school. Here we go with the top 3 plays.
Number 2. Number 1.